Good afternoon, Dom Ryan here with another Oz News update. The Prime Minister Julia Gillard has promised more staff, more beds, more money, less waiting time, yet more access, as the states and territories agreed on the proposed National Health Scheme. The decision was reached after 12 hours of heated talks in the ACT. The reform will provide $16.4 billion over 10 years, which will start on July 1st. Ms Gillard has also said that a national funding pool will ensure that all hospitals are fairly funded by the federal government.
And a central part of this reform is having an efficient pricing structure to drive the best possible way of running hospitals. Fran, what this reform also promises is national standards, national clinical standards, which would set the amount of time that someone could wait, that, clinically they can wait that amount of time if a local hospital network was not in a position to end up meeting their need in the clinically recommended time. Then the door is open to purchasing capacity from private hospitals, for example, or making arrangements with nearby local hospitals. But this reform is not about closing hospitals. Opening hospitals, responding to population growth, population planning would be in the province of state governments. But inherent in this reform, and this is a really important point, is the federal government stepping up to the plate on capital needs for hospitals. When we talk about a 60% funding share, we're also talking about a 60% share including the capital, and that's been a huge strain on state governments, and over time obviously that strain has showed.
And just before we go briefly, that 60% share, that's completely uncapped, isn't it?
Well, the essence of this reform is you have an efficient price, you have a system that meets demand, obviously, a demand for appropriate procedures. You're not going to be operating on perfectly healthy people for nothing, but if people need procedures, then there will be an efficient price. If that procedure happens, then obviously it will be paid for. So there aren't artificial caps. You don't say, we'll only do X number of hip replacements when a larger number of people in the community need the hip replacements. You'll pay for the hip replacements that are needed at the efficient price.
Queenslanders affected by Cyclone Yasi can now claim a one-off emergency payment. If your home has been damaged or is inhabitable, you can now claim $2,000 per adult and $1,000 per child. This money will be extracted from the Premier's disaster relief appeal, which has so far raised $200 million. There have already been 14,000 calls for emergency assistance from flood victims, and the chairman of the appeal, Dr. David Hamill, says it is important that we extend that help to fellow Queenslanders suffering in the aftermath of the storms in the North Queensland. The RBA has a little office makeover after spending $1.3 million on new chairs and desks. $18,000 on this was spent on the governor's desk alone. They will be also renovating each floor to improve air conditioning, lighting, IT, communications and floor finishing. The bank secretary, Anthony Dickman, says these renovations will cost $2 to $4 million per floor, and with 17 floors, that could come to $68 million. And for Australians, it's the price, not the reputation, when it comes to airline companies, a new survey has revealed. The study showed that 60% of flyers were cost-conscious and observed price over quality. The survey results would have been good news for Qantas, however they announced that they were rising their fuel prices by 50% as a surcharge. Asian airlines are popular as they were the cheapest. The best performers include Air China and Korea Air. Simon Westaway, a Jetstar spokesman, says that the results are not surprising, and he believes that people can have a good price and a good reputation on their airline. Discount airline Tiger Airways has reported 34% increase in passengers in the last 12 months. Airline company Ryanair has also claimed it will offer discounted flights for those willing to stand, and will also consider coin-operated toilets, as well as a surcharge for sick bags, smoking in converted cubicles, and a fat tax. In the world of technology, 2011 is said to be a big year for devices, with a PlayStation that has a calling function, a huge iPad rival, and a competitor for the Android smartphone lines. President of Sony, Brett Nordberg, has said that they have revealed a smartphone that is the perfect combination of communication and entertainment This new Sony Ericsson is the first PlayStation certified phone. Valentine's Day may be great for most, but not for hotel employees in Melbourne. The staff say they are given 15 minutes in the Hilton to clean rooms covered in fruit, chocolate, massage oil, and other things. A job that needs 45 minutes to complete. The Liquor, Hospitality and Miscellaneous Union says that Melbourne is on the brink of a health crisis as the rooms are not properly cleaned and guests are at risk. Let's have a look at weather finally now. And for Tuesday tomorrow, Sydney 21 to 25 and a shower or two. Melbourne will be 16 to 28 and showers developing. Brisbane 22 to 28 and possible storms. Perth will have 22 to 35 and an afternoon storm. Chance of afternoon rain and storms in Adelaide 19 to 31. Hobart 14 to 24 and fine. Darwin 24 to 30 with showers and storms. And Canberra will be 12 to 22 and possible showers. That is Oz News for today, Monday 14th of the 2nd. Happy Valentine's Day, all those lovers. Keep your hotel rooms clean, please. Please, the hotel staff. Enjoy your evening. I'm Don Ryan and I'll see you tomorrow.